Hello everybody and welcome to the Brooklyn Crokinole Club. The Kazz here bringing you main event round robin action between Brooklyn Crokinole Clubs Madison and Mikail against Connecticut Crokinole Clubs Brian and Jim. As we will get started, 4 rounds of action here in the round robin. Jim in the gray Connecticut Crokinole Club jersey, Brian in the white, Madison on your bottom left, Mikail top right. And Brian gets us started away, tripping over the hole. Yeah, nice little touch there for Madison. Jim, nice clean takeout. Okay, looking at a couple of different angles here. One of those red discs, very much up against a peg. Nice clean takeout there. And he's Brian with decent shot to go through his own disc to get the takeout. As he checks his angles out. Does try to do that and barely makes contact with the blue disc and leaves a double leaner, almost even more impressive than getting a 20. Potentially some fireworks could have happened there. Nice takeout from Madison. Jim with the opportunity, and now traffic building up in the house. 2 discs apiece. Looks like one of the blue discs is on the line. Oh, and Mikail gives up a 20. Not how you want it to go. First round of action. Cal giving Madison some good advice how to tackle this problem. Ooh, catches the peg on the way in, loses the shooter. Jim gets not only the take-up, but takes out one of his own discs and loses the shooter, so... Oh, and Mikail just jams on him. So now Jim and Brian up a 20 with traffic on the board. And an open 20 chance here for Jim. Comes up just a little bit short. As Mikail and Madison try to climb back into this round slowly but surely. Nice takeout from Madison there. And trading places, Jim staying to the outside. Mikail will have hammered this round, and he stays to the outside, trying to leave a difficult shot here for Brian, but he may have the outside angle here to get that takeout, and he does, but he does lose the shooter. Maybe an open chance here for Madison to climb back into this. Oh, and she hits a super Steve, and she is not happy about it. Brian with the dagger there. That final 20 will seal the first 2 points of these 4 rounds for Team Connecticut. Madison gets us started in the second round, going a little bit long. Jim, unable to get the takeout. Now, Brian looking for a follow through. It just gets the disc to trip over the hole, and it stays on the board. And now Madison and Mikail going to have an opportunity here to get more discs on the board. Oh, the shot just jams on her, and she loses the shooter. Possible double takeout chance here for Jim. Oh, almost. Bit of a Newton. Loses the shooter, and again, Madison and Mikail having board presence here. Brian this time gets a trip into the house and the takeout. Oh, and Madison takes out her own disc on the 5. No 20s yet so far in this round. Just trading places, it looks like. Madison looks like she's going to have the idea of a Newton's 20 and almost gets it. Just pushes her disc into the house. And an outside takeout from Jim. Mikail does get the 1 takeout, but does not keep his shooter on the board. Oh, and this time Brian hitting his own disc, losing 2, keeping the rest of the discs on the board. And now again, Madison and Mikail, 2 discs on the board. Jim smartly playing the long side of the board for Mikail to contend with. A little bit blocked on one side from his own disc. Trying to see what his best option is. It looks like he's going to try to go right through the middle half hole. He does, manages to peel. Very nice shot there for Mikail. The touch 20 chance here for Brian. Does get the takeout, leaves it on the 5. And Brian will have hammer this round. So just staying to the outside is good play, giving Mikail no opportunity to get a 20, and he almost does. So all Brian will have to do now is take out that 1 disc in the 15. He can lose his shooter and they'll win by 5, but he gives up the 20. And they will tie this round. 3-1 going into round 3 as Jim gets it started. Leaves a leaner for Mikail. Does get the takeout, plays to the outside. And just a touch there from Brian. And touch there from Madison. Jim playing to the closest disc possible. Trying to get the roll in. Rolls into the 10, not into the house. Mikail with a very nice double takeout there. And a nice roll into the house from Brian. Good strategic shooting here so far. As I say that, and Madison just catches the peg on the way in. Mikail's disc is tight up against that peg. Jim is able to get it off of the peg, but not off of the board. This time would it be wiser for Mikail to play to the outside? Doesn't look like he's going to. Just goes for the touch, but puts a little bit too much mustard on it. Now board presence for Team Connecticut as Madison peels off. Another roll-in chance here for Jim. And he catches the peg on the way in, leaving just 1 target here for Mikail. He gets a nice roll-in, but gives Brian an opportunity for the first 20 of this round. And he does get the slow roll in. Jim and Brian now up 120. And Madison not happy with letting that stand. She responds with an open 20 herself. And Jim just comes up a little short, setting up Mikail for a 20 to go up on the board. In this situation, you can either try to go through the center or go to the side as Mikail does, and he does not get the off, but he does get the bounce back. Open chance for Brian, and ties it up. Madison may have had a rebound if she went on a farther angle there, but just content with the takeout. Jim looking for the 20. Oh, and just makes contact with it, but loses the shooter. Goes right through the house. And now Mikail trying to get the dagger in there. He does get the open 20, now up 3-2. Madison will have the final shot. Brian almost able to get that takeout 20. Madison and Mikail will be taking these 2 points. Madison doesn't even have to shoot, and they let her know as such, so good sportsmanship there. As we are tied 3-3 heading into the 4th and final round of this match. And Mikail gets it started with an open 20. Brian responds. And Madison gets one herself. And we go around the world once. And Mikail's second open 20 opportunity comes up just a little bit short. Brian makes a valid shot. This time, Madison looking to the outside angle to try and get this 20. Oh, and just hits the hole, not the disc. So she loses the shooter. It's a difficult shot when a disc is so close. You have to hit it kind of thin. You also have to avoid the hole entirely. Mikail plays to the outside. And this time Mikail coaching Madison to try and get the touch here and the takeout. It's a little bit further back. It's also on her side of the board, makes it a difficult shot. She does make contact, but possibly leaves her vulnerable. And Jim does capitalize on it. They are now up 3-2 in the 20 count in this 4th and final round. Oh, and Mikail catches a peg on the way in, winds up hitting his own disc and loses both discs on the board. Madison not happy with that performance. Wonder if they're still together after this match. I'm just kidding. They probably are. Takeout on the outside from Madison. 2 pegged up discs in the house for Jim and Brian. Clean takeout of one of them from Mikail. When Brian gives a 20 back. Now tied in the 20s, but Brian and Jim have the board presence and the hammer. Jim will be taking the last shot of this round. Madison's disc tight up against that peg, but a pinch out and off. Good separation of discs for Jim and Brian. So we come to the last orbit of this match, and Mikail gets the off, but loses the shooter. And Brian with the bump and run. We're going to call it a ruck and run when he does it. With Madison's final shot. Needs a double takeout 20 in order to at least tie the 4th round. Oh, and misses entirely. Catches the peg, loses the shooter. Jim does not need to shoot this shot, but he does. Goes up 5-3 in the 20s, and 5-3 is the final score as we look at some of the highlights of this match. As in the previous round, everyone had open 20 shooting going for them. Jim with a nice hanger there. It's a nice double takeout from Mikail. Sticking with Mikail, that nice hanger there. If he hit it any harder, it could have jammed on him. In this crazy double leaning shot from Brian that just barely made contact with the blue disc. A nice touch and slow roll. And the ruck and run to close it out. Congratulations to Team Connecticut, you got one up on us. We thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you at the next one. If you're interested in coming to join us, follow the links in the description below to be notified of when we're going to be meeting next. See you there.